and just tell you a little bit about the Hometown News Media Group. Hometown News has been around for a little over 23 years now. We started in Fort Pierce as a weekly local paper, come out every Friday, free publication that was started because our owner did not like any of the current publications that were in the area, so he decided to create his own. Since then, it's grown to 15 publications stretching from Martin County through Volusia County. And we deliver 130,000 copies to subscribers every week throughout there. We have 5 papers in Brevard County alone and deliver to 40,000 subscribers in Brevard County. So that's our newspaper end. The other end is HDN Digital Solutions. That is our digital end. We started about 8 years ago dabbling in digital. Started with some Facebook stuff and a little bit of advertising on our website. And then about 4 years ago, they decided to jump in with both feet and really become a true digital marketing company. And that's what we are today. We do everything from building websites, SEO, which we'll talk about a little bit today, geofencing, display ads. If you want to get your TV commercial on the streaming networks, including like Prime, we can do that for you. As far as basically any type of marketing that you might want to do, we can assist you with. Dan is going to come up here with me because he is much more knowledgeable on the digital end, and he will speak to you a little bit more about geofencing, and we're also going to talk about local SEO, which for any business is really a must-have, whereas some other marketing things are just, good options, but not something that you absolutely need to do. So Dan, come on up here. This isn't what we normally do, so bear with us a little bit. I should have known about the Toastmasters and gone there first.
Maybe I'll see you guys there Tuesday. I'll see you guys there on Tuesday. So we're going to talk about a few different options. There's obviously, as you guys are probably aware from all the sales and marketing people coming through your door and calling you, there's a lot of different options for digital marketing. Geofencing is certainly one of the coolest ones out there, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Some tried and true that are still really effective, Facebook advertising and Google pay-per-click. We'll touch briefly on that, but really we're going to spend the majority of our time talking about something that's really boring and really necessary, which is local SEO. And so we'll get into some of these different options. You mentioned Coca-Cola. The first example I have for geofencing is probably not relatable to all of our budgets, but the geo-conquest that Burger King did to McDonald's is probably the prototype for all geofencing activities. They put up geofencing essentially is targeting people where they are, where they've been, as opposed to who they are and their interests. And so there's a lot of cool applications for this. Car dealers can geofence another manufacturer's car lot and serve ads to them for 30 days after they visited. So maybe Toyota targets the Kia lot, etc. The way that Burger King did this is they put geofences up around 14,000 McDonald's locations. And when somebody was standing in a McDonald's, they would get served an ad. It was an offer for a 1-cent Whopper. And the key was that you had to claim that on your phone while you were standing in McDonald's, leave McDonald's, and go to Burger King. Okay, so you can get as tricky as you want with geofencing, but the outcome was highly successful. A lot of app downloads and a lot of increased sales for Burger King. There are some friendlier uses for geofencing. And I'm sorry, I'm flipping the page but not the slides. So we'll talk a little bit about this example, but in general, geofencing is used to draw foot traffic, and you can encourage spontaneous visits like Burger King did. You can target points of interest or major events. So if there's a festival going on and you have something that's related to that festival, or you think those festival goers would like as well or have interest in, you can target where they're going, and you can even target where they've been even after they've been there. It's called retro fencing. So we can go back and look at an event and determine who was there and still be able to serve those folks your ads. This example is one of ours. It's from a wine bar, and they were trying to boost foot traffic and Google visibility during the slow season. We're going to talk a little bit more about local SEO, but part of this campaign was geofencing. And so as people were in the area, they would get served ads with offers, and you can do the same. For some of the big events here in the county, we can geofence those events and serve ads to those folks for your business. So for the wine bar, it was a 6-month campaign, and the investment was around $7,350, and we got about 328,000 impressions, 298 clicks, and the user actions for those clicks was around 1.2 thousand. And so, these are all pieces and parts of campaigns, and there's a lot of different options as we talked about. But the local SEO, we'll get to that. I'm going to move forward a little bit more. So pay-per-click is one of those that is still tried and true. You can get to the top of Google. It's the only way you can get to the top of Google quickly and ethically is to pay Google to be there. And so combining these different pieces and parts, we were able to provide return on investment for this wine company, and also for this roofing company. Harvey mentioned a little bit about streaming TV. This is one of the pieces that really television wasn't available, wasn't a good option for a lot of small businesses in the past. And the advent of streaming and disconnecting from the cable companies has given a lot more granular opportunities to small businesses. We can put your commercial, and we can make your commercial, but we can also put your commercial on the local streaming services. We have attainable live sports at this time, where we can advertise to an entire metropolitan area for football, tennis, golf, hockey, all of those different things that typically you would have to have a Coca-Cola kind of budget to be on those shows. But maybe you're noticing it yourself. I see a lot of really localized ads now when I'm watching my streaming services. Similarly, on the streaming music services. So people who are listening in a particular area. So if you just launched a business in a particular area, or let's say you've been there a long time, you're having people come in going, I didn't even know you were here. This is a great way to help cover that area and make everybody aware that you're still there. So for the roofing company, it was also a 3-month campaign, about $19,000, and the cost per click ended up being $7.50, which if you've ever done pay-per-click for a contractor, for one of those high volume categories, that's a tremendously low price to pay for a click of somebody that has high purchase intent. One of the other tried and true methods that it's kind of boring, but still out there. I think a lot of people discount Facebook at this point, just because it's been out there so long and it's changed a lot. But if you take a look at what Facebook still is, it's a dominant platform, and it is a huge engaged audience. It is the most used social media platform for marketing, and provides one of the highest conversion rates for social media. The targeting capabilities are granular and immense on Facebook. Very, very hyper-specific targeting. You can go down to neighborhoods on Facebook level, but you can also do scale. Facebook is something that a lot of people consider to be kind of a DIY platform. It's not. None of these things are. I think a lot of things started out as fairly simple, and you were able to do a lot of these things yourself. If you were to do a Facebook campaign now, one of the things that we do as a company is we're going to do A/B testing. We're going to keep testing different ads, and we're going to keep refining your campaign on a day-to-day basis, so that we can make sure that we're getting you the results that you ask for. And you can do different things with Facebook. You can drive to your website, or you can drive to your store. You can do promotions, etc. When we talk about local SEO, SEO has a couple different flavors. When we talk about local SEO, we're talking about these map listings. And so when you do a search on Google, you get the paid ads, the sponsors, that's the pay-per-click. Below that is the map listings, and then below that is the organic SEO. Organic SEO is a long-term strategic process, and it casts a very wide net. It takes a long time to build up your listings, your rankings, but when it gets there, it's very powerful, right? For the localized businesses, there is no better way to connect with high-intent customers than local SEO. If you think about Google's motivation for putting us through all of these hoops of fire that we have to jump through to show up on their platform, they are in the business of giving us good answers. And so as people with bad intentions come up and try to game the system, Google has to make it harder to make sure that they're giving us the right answer. And so your local search engine optimization is essentially your online reputation as Google sees it. And so you're going to have a number of elements to your SEO that essentially is other elements on the web saying, yeah, that's the right answer for a roofer or for an Italian restaurant, because other people also feel that way, and there's other indications and pointers going to your business. The local SEO is the analogy here is that it casts a wide net for organic SEO. Local SEO is more like spearing the right fish that you're targeting as it's near your boat. Okay, it's a very high conversion rate. Searches for anything near me show a high intent to buy, and put local SEO businesses directly in their path. Local traffic is more efficient use of your marketing budget. This is something that should be looked at as more of a utility as opposed to something like geofencing or pay-per-click, which is a method that might be strategic for your purposes. Local SEO is the same as responding to customers in person, doing a good job, being conscientious. This is how you gain the good reviews. This is how you gain good stead with Google. So it's the digital town square, right? And this is where potential customers go to research your business. I'm sure everybody in here has at some point spoken into their phone and said, I'm looking for blank near me. Even if you don't happen to say near me, it's going to give you something close to you. An optimized Google business profile with positive references, reviews, and consistent information act as your digital storefront. And so what Google looks at in part is that everything is listed uniformly. There are around 60 or so directories that we don't see when we do searches. We don't find things on them, but Google turns to them for the validity of your business. And so even if you have a comma that is different on one versus the other, Google's going to strike that against you. And so consistency and is everything across these directory listings. It just so happens that these directory listings, you can go in and put your information in, and it may change because somebody may change it on your behalf. And a lot of these things, it's kind of like playing whack-a-mole. You go in and you get everything straightened out, and then your scores drop, and you take a look and something's changed. You don't know why. So staying on top of these things it's not a set it and forget it. It's more of a, as I said, kind of a utility service that you need to be acting on. Doing it yourself can be done. It's because of bad actors and people trying to game the system. What happens is that Google has to make it harder. And so I don't expect you to be able to read this, but this is kind of a checklist in terms of just some categories that you have to address to get your local SEO squared away. And so I say it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. And so name, address, phone number. You have to have optimized pages. You have to have local content. The backlinks and citations. As I said, those are validity. Those are authority pointing to you. One of the things that can help you all in this room is to have your name and company name on the Chamber of Commerce website. That's an authoritative website. That's an authoritative backlink for you. Beyond that, you have to go and negotiate and ask people, can I have a backlink? And you have to really barter with authoritative sites. That's what we do for you if you wanted to engage us in this service. We are going to offer today, and Harvey's going to talk to this a little bit, but we'll be set up over here on the side, and we can do these scans for you. So there's reports. You can go online and you can search for a local SEO scan, and you can get a report on your business and see what that looks like. Forget to change that. You guys can't see this. So if you take a look here, you know this is a business. I chose somebody out of town so we didn't embarrass anybody. But this is a roofing company in Miami, and you can see that 100% of their listings are listed as inaccurate. Now, it's no surprise that I found these guys on the 4th page of Google. Also a good place to hide a body, right? So you get the scanning on your own business, but you also get a comparative number on the businesses in your category. And so you kind of get an idea of what other people are doing. And by the way, you can run this on your competitor, and you can see exactly what they're doing, exactly what you need to do to get better and to overtake them in listings. And so it's kind of cut off here, but you can see city squares. I mean, how many people here go to city squares to get their information? 0, I'm guessing. And so this is where Google looks, but we don't look, but it impacts us, okay? And so we can do this report for you, get a feeling of where you are. This is the most important thing that you really, it's a must-have, it's a must-do for all businesses, but in particular small businesses who are trying to attract local customers. I'm going to turn it over to Harvey here, and we can talk a little bit about one of the products that goes along with this.
All right, so like Dan said, it is affordable for everyone. We have SEO options that start at $200 a month. So it's not something you got to pay thousands of dollars for every month or anything like that, and it'll get you raised up in the listings and help your business. So we're just about done. I know they waited to do the raffles so you wouldn't leave while we're talking. We do have some things set up special for today. We have a special promotion around one of our, mainly around one of our digital products called the Mobile Ticker, which does incorporate that geofencing. It sets a geographic area that we want to target, then it sets a demographic that you would want to target, and then it serves ads to those people on their cell phones. So I know I got my assistant down here trying to pull up the link for us. There we go. So he's gonna, yep. And then you see the logo comes flying in the bottom of the cell phone. Then there's a brief message, and then you can click on that message at any time, and it directs them to the website. So if it was one of your businesses, obviously your logo, not mine, would come flying in. A little message, maybe an offer or something that's going on. They click on it and they're directed directly to your website and whatever page on your website that they'd like to go to. We've done a lot of work with some senior living facilities with this product, and we direct people directly to the page where they can fill out the form to request a tour, because that's their main goal, is to get people to do tours. Nationally, the click-through rates, the number of times versus how many are served, people click on an ad in digital, ranges from 0.08% to 1.2%. With our mobile ticker, we get an average of around 2% or more. So 40,000 impressions we usually serve in a month, runs about $500 for the 40,000 impressions. and that usually sends more than 800 people to the customer's website. So it is an amazing product. Like we said, we have a special offer going for anybody that's here today for it. We also have some other things going on with the Hometown News for the month of October. We are doing a breast cancer awareness section each week in our paper, where 5% of the revenue generated is going to be donated to the Florida Breast Cancer Foundation. And then in November, we're doing a couple things around Veterans Day, the week before and the week after, and we've partnered with a few veterans groups, and 5% of the revenue generated there is going to be donated to those groups. As Dan had mentioned, that SEO scan, we can do those in about 2 to 3 minutes. If anybody here wants to get it done now, we each have our tablets back there. We're connected to the Wi-Fi. You can come and see us, and we can do your SEO scan now and let you know where you sit, how your business is doing with the SEO. Sorry. One thing I didn't mention to Nancy, and this will be the last thing I say and then we'll be done. Any of the sponsors today, anybody that was here that, I know we had Servpro was one of the sponsors. I think one of the credit unions, a couple others. Any of the sponsors, we're going to give a quarter-page ad to in our papers if you'd like to take advantage of that. I'm sure Nancy or Caroline can get me the list of who the sponsors were.